So now that we have Frenzy added to the team of Soundwave cassettes, how about a concept art Laserbeak that doesn't look like it's made up?
What's going on, everybody? Republic Cinema here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Studio Series Core Class Concept Art Bumblebee movie Frenzy. Now before I start, I just want to point out that I think something's up with my mic, so if I sound a little off, please put that in mind. Now, this Core Class Frenzy is a straight up repaint to the Core Class Rumble that we've already taken a look at long time ago. Well, more like earlier this year. But now we're going to be taking a look at his twin. So this Frenzy isn't really like the Bayverse one, of course, since the Bayverse one did in fact hack a bunch of government network, whereas this version of Frenzy never made it out of the concept art. But that didn't stop Hasbro from making a Core Class concept art Bumblebee movie Frenzy before a Core Class 2007 Frenzy. Since that Core Class is being discontinued, we may never see a 2007 Core Class Frenzy. Not anytime soon, at least. And yes, somehow the Core Class is being discontinued, not sure why. On the bright side, that means Hasbro won't be tempted to just throw in a one Bayverse Core Class figure a year and call it a day, because it's been like that for 2 years. For that specific reason, I'm kind of glad they're discontinuing the Core Classes. But either way, the discontinuation of Core Class is still unfortunate, as I kind of like these minis. But anyways, back to Frenzy over here. Fun fact, sometimes in some continuities, Frenzy would be referred to as Rumble, and Rumble would be referred to as Frenzy. It was a weird mix-up, and I believe it's an old debate. But since in the packaging he's labeled as Frenzy for this figure in specific, we're going to be calling him Frenzy. And how's this figure? More of the same. It's just the colors are different. I think the color pattern is like literally the same thing though. Anyways, before we talk about how this figure looks and what he comes with, let's take a quick look at the packaging. So here we have the front, which is a bit banged up, and also shows an exact repainted artwork of Rumble. I think that's the same artwork of Rumble. It's been a while since I've seen the artwork for Rumble in specific, but Frenzy just looks like the exact same thing. I can recognize that it's Rumble's artwork because of the goofy posture the legs are in over there. Maybe these guys really were made up. On the top is the Transformers Bumblebee movie logo. Turn to the bottom and there's of course nothing. And on the other side you get a more zoomed in look to his face. On the bottom back is all boring, but on the top you get a little more info on what you get inside the packaging. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this little carded box. Now moving back to the tiny figure right here. So starting off, painting and sculpting is, well, it's kind of the same. As previously mentioned, there is a similar color pattern, but obviously different color paint apps. I guess not much kibble going on around. I don't think kibble is really that big of a deal for this guy. I guess you could say the head sculpt looks nice. Looks very movie-ish. His arms are the piston arms without the piston gimmick, which of course are used to tremble the earth. But yeah, not like that, of course. Also, could somebody explain to me what exactly is this type of posture on his waist? Yeah, Frenzy, that doesn't really look healthy. But other than that, there's not much I could say for this figure. The kibble is basically the same as Rumble. There's barely any kibble. Actually, there's no kibble at all. That's because his alt mode is weird. And I guess the quality is all right, other than this thing moving up and down a little more loosely than all the other joints this figure has. The movements on the top of the leg are pretty tight, whereas there's a bit of a contrast since the lower gray part of the leg is a little loose. But I guess those are the only quality differences I have with this guy compared to Rumble. Nothing too serious. But I guess we could take a look at his accessories, which are literally the same as last time. He comes with this interesting blaster accessory, and he also comes with this thing, which looks like a goofy pistol. Their only purpose for this figure is to just chill on his back. But if you have other Core Class figures like Mohawk, these accessories do have another form of usage. And what I find cool about these two accessories is that they combine into a bigger gun, which looks more like a pistol if you have Soundwave holding it. To Mohawk, however, it's a pump shotgun from Halo. If you happen to have both accessories from Core Class Frenzy and Core Class Rumble, you'll find that you could equip either one of your figures dual-wielded with these pistols. I choose Soundwave because rightfully so, the cassettes are his. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the accessories. Now moving on to articulation. Ball joint at the head, which can allow the head to look up and down, and can allow the head to swivel. Full rotation at the arm, bend at the shoulder, and there's no more arm articulation. Unless you want to snap this guy's arm off. This is used more for transformation, but it serves as an unintentional ab crunch. Legs can spread, Leg can move forward, can move backwards, bend at the knee swivel, since of course it's on a ball joint, and it could also allow the knee to rock from side to side, and lastly the foot moves up and down. And yeah, that's pretty much it for articulation. Not much to expect since this is a tiny core class. Also, since this is the Rumble mold, he's almost half the size of other core class figures that I own. Same thing with Ravage. Speaking of size, let's quickly move on to size comparison. Starting off with his cassette buddy, here he is next to Rumble, Ravage. To throw in some other core class figures, here he is next to the core class Shockwave, RC, Noah, Mohawk, and then for some Bumblebee movie Decepticon cast comparisons, here he is next to Shatter, Dropkick, Blitzwing, Thrust, Skywarp, Thundercracker, Starscream, Soundwave, Shockwave, and lastly, here he is next to Megatron. And then one more thing here, Frenzy is alongside all the other Bumblebee movie Decepticons. There's not much else we're missing here, aside from some other Seekers with different paint variations, I guess. But we already have 5, and we want more, right? Oh, and maybe in the future a Cybertronian Shatter and Cybertronian Dropkick remold, along with a potential concept art Laserbeak. That's if such a thing exists. Even if a concept art Laserbeak exists, I just hope it doesn't look made up and actually looks cool. But anyways, leave a comment down below which Decepticon figure you would like to see next and which Decepticon figure from the Bumblebee movie is your favorite out of all of these. And now moving on to transformation, which is straightforward. To start off, in case you have them on the back, you might as well remove these guns now. And I guess the next thing you want to do is close in the feet just to get those out of the way. After that, you're going to fold in the arm, rotate it like this to where the Decepticon logo is facing forward, and then close this up. Same thing for the other side. After that, we spin to the back and move this leg upwards, because then what we're going to want to do is go ahead and plug in the accessories onto those tabs right there. Once you have them tabbed in like so, just make sure that this other side tabs in onto those slots as well. What you're going to do next is crunch this all the way backwards and then collapse this whole piece onto that part right there. And there you go, there's the cassette tape. More like a cassette box. But not even that, it looks more like a drop pod? This folded in alt mode is weird, because you turn to the back and you see his bottom parts of the arm folded in, and they look like smokestacks to me. Either way, this alt mode is making me want to nicely put this thing in a box and ship it all the way back to Cybertron. There's no need for TLK references. And there's no need to address the weapon storage since it is part of the transformation process. But hey, you know what you can do with this cassette tape other than looking at it? And yeah, that's pretty much it. How to get this thing out? I guess your best bet of removing it is to give it a nice shake and it should come out. Okay, it's really stuck there. In case you're having trouble shaking the cassette tape out, you could always open up the back and then just push it out. But does it really require all that troubleshooting just to take it out? Obviously not. With the cassette box Ravage, however, he goes in there fine and comes out there fine. I guess for the Rumble/Frenzy mold in specific, it's due to the unboxy-like nature of the design for the alt mode. There's a good chance you'll run into problems trying to take this guy out after forcefully pushing him into Soundwave's chest. So I'm not really impressed on that part. Could it be that I may have mistransformed this guy in somewhere? Maybe, but I don't see how fixing that would make any difference. But anyways, for brief size comparisons with the alt mode, here is next to his brother, I guess, Rumble and Ravage. And then here's all 3 of the cassettes together. Overall, I find Ravage's to be the most boxy out of the other 2, because I guess that's what his design was better at doing? But I guess you could say Rumble and Frenzy's mold isn't that bad of a cassette box. The design just looks a bit peculiar for that. Either way, if Hasbro does decide to bring back the core class and they end up finding a concept art of a Bumblebee movie Laserbeak and decide to do a figure of it, I just hope the alt mode is a little better than the core class Frenzy and Rumble alt modes. However, such a thing doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon. But anyways, leave a comment down below if you guys would like to see a core class Bumblebee movie concept art Laserbeak in the future. And also leave a comment down below which cassette box is your favorite. And I think that's pretty much it. I think that's all I had to say for this guy. Overall, a cool repaint. If you're a fan of Frenzy and Rumble, then both figures will be a pretty good addition to your Bumblebee movie collection. Other than displaying them on the Bumblebee movie shelf, I see no other reason to pick these figures up. I'm still not a big fan of the cassette function, but at least they still fit into Soundwave, because they're supposed to, they're cassettes. If you're looking to pick this figure up, he's available over at Amazon for $10, I think. I don't think the price is changing anytime soon. So far, I have not spotted this guy at either Target or Walmart or GameStop, but I'm sure you'll have a better chance at looking for him either way. If so, be sure to let me know in the comments if you do in fact find him, because I'd like to know. I figured if I found TF1 Megatron and Reactivate Bumblebee, I'm sure there's a strong chance you'll be able to find this guy. So again, let me know in the comments. But other than that, be sure to let me know in the comments what you guys think about this figure. Are you going to pick him up? Are you going to pass? It all goes down to personal preference. But anyways, if you like what you saw in this video, be sure to slam that like button, share this with your friends as well, turn on post notifications so that way you don't miss another upload. Let me know how I did in this video, and most importantly, be sure to hit that big red subscribe button, because we're kind of coming close on 9,000 subscribers, just 300 short. So maybe there's a slight chance, maybe? But anyways, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Teo!